scenario with the 5 business partners,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have the operating agreement.
Okay.
Ooh.
One of them passes.
Okay.
It's a corporation. And so, well, corporation or LLC. Tell us if there's any difference legally when this happens. What typically happens in that situation?
So there are some differences. Usually for a corporation, you're looking at shares in a company. And that's usually what that is. And you can have additional things set up. When you get into corporations, you're also looking at what's the tax liability and different things like that. For an LLC, it's usually you have your member share, your member portion, and then it's a pass-through entity, typically, unless someone decides they want to go with an S Corp designation, and then it's a little bit different. So when you're talking about someone who dies, basically, it's going to be whatever the default laws are for whatever jurisdiction that business is in. Because we have some people, they set things up over in Delaware because they're looking for bigger investors.
Right.
And then someone dies in Michigan. And they're like, okay, well, how do we take care of this? Well, you set your stuff up in Delaware, didn't put an operating agreement in place to say Michigan law is going to rule, go back to Delaware. And so, people just have to be really careful when they're trying to get things set up and thinking through, well, what needs to happen. But death isn't the only thing that comes up. The main reason I even offer prenuptial agreements is because you could have 5 people come together, 3 people, they're married, 1 person is single, is just like, you know what, I'm staying single. The other person is engaged. The 4 partners don't like the fiance because they think, you know what, she's just after your wallet, but we need you over here right now because you have a fifth of this company. Well, they may require that person to get a prenuptial agreement as part of their business arrangement. Like there's a lot to it.
Hold up. So I go in business, we flipping these houses or we building new construction. I got 4 partners and the partners can say, I think it's wise we all get a prenup or whatever the case may be, right? To protect the company from your crazy spouse or whatever.
Yep. And that's where you're looking at the language there.
So
go ahead.
No, so these are the things, like a lot of times when people are just going online, filing their LLCs, they're not even thinking about this and how this tie into their personal family issues and it spills over to business, especially when you have partners.
Exactly. Right. And when you have partners and everyone's setup is different. You could have everyone is married, everyone has children, or everyone is single, no one has children, but life happens. So you could have one person where they're now the caretaker for someone in their family. You have the next person where now they have 2 children. It's, 10 years down the road. The next person, they have a blended family somehow. And you don't know what's going to happen. It doesn't mean people can't go back to these documents and update them. I always recommend that you do not set it and forget it, so to speak. You go through pretty regularly and make sure that everything is where it really needs to be. But yes, you could have all these partners come together and say, you know what? If any of us were to ever decide we're going to get married, everybody needs to have a prenuptial agreement. If not, this business has the right to buy you out. We can put this provision in here. I mean, you can set things up. It doesn't mean that, hey, I'm going to stop you from getting married. That's not what that is. But you do want to protect the business.